Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. So what are we working on today? We're going to be working on Project Deep Sea. Let me turn down the music so I don't deafen myself like an asshole. That. And pop open a thing of inspiration juice. So, yeah, no, I thought that last song was 2 minutes and 53 seconds, no, 1 minute 53. So, today we're going to be working on making a character, which, going to be interesting, but I have the ideas behind it. So, of course I put on the most porny jazz possible. If it works, it works. What game are we going to be basing it mostly off of? Attributes. Okay, actually. Please work the way I want you to. There we go. Characters inside of the Okagam universe, and in turn the world of Wadanohara. I want to keep that. I'm going to keep this right here, because fuck this word. The world of Wadanohara. Okagam universe, and in turn the world of Wadanohara. Wadanohara are a complex batch of characters. Complex batch of weirdos, oddities, strangers. When creating a character for Deep Sea, the players will have to acknowledge two distinct things. One, which is the central character? Actually, what I should do is, the witch. The witch is the central character. What this means is the central character. What this means is that the game, and in turn the story, are focused around the witch and her adventures. Now, this doesn't mean that other characters can't be in the limelight. It simply means that the story is what I should say is that the world gravitates around the witch and her actions. Second thing is Secondly, actually what I should say is first, the witch is the central character. Secondly, the how do I want to word this? Effectively, what my idea here is. Oh yeah. Secondly, characters are not immortal. This may seem fairly obvious, but characters in the Okagam universe tend to be a bit fragile. Actually, a bit fragile. Characters die. They get hurt, and they may experience fairly graphic punishment for their actions. When making a character, keep in mind that they most likely not come out of the adventure completely the same. A little more broken, a little more mature, and a little more broken and mature. Yeah. Let's actually see if it's okay. Gom. Okagam universe. I should tell people I'm streaming, shouldn't I? I'll just tell the perverts. Alright, so we'll put a slap an image right there. What we'll do now is attributes. Not heading 1, we want heading 2. So, for attributes, we're going to keep it fairly simple, I think. So, body, spirit, reflexes, bravado. Do I need a 5th? Let's see. Spirit, I want to do... Actually, yeah, no. Spirit's going to be the one with the magical stuff. Bravado is going to be your dealing with human beings. Reflex is going to be how fast you are, as well as... Oh, I'm missing something. I feel like I'm missing something. Where are you? Standard issue. The science fiction. Okay, let's see. Attributes. Body and bravado. Actually, yeah, you know what? I think that works. I'm going to put in the education. So we're going to have to put in body, bravado, education, spirit, reflexes. Yeah, education, because I want to separate magic from being smart, because you can be smart but not magically capable. Okay, yeah, no, that works. Okay, so attributes. Attributes reflect the character's base abilities and skills when it comes to their natural. Actually, natural. I should say is natural abilities, as well as their acquired. Reflect that character's natural abilities, how strong, smart, or fast they are in normal situations. Yeah, I'm just like, wait a second. There's my back. Let's see how strong, smart, and fast they are in normal situations. Attributes. Yeah. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to save that. Go away Han Solo. And we want Roboto. Body. I feel like I should change that to something else. But body works. Physically fit. Okay, so then we have to make bravado. Actually, what I can do, we'll change bravado to personality. Mostly because of how another little thing I plan on adding, which is let's see, so personality. Education. Roboto. Academic success, learn skills and knowledge. Identification of strange and wonderful new phenomenon. Strange and wonderful new phenomenon. Phenomena. And finally, reflexes. And A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, S, P, Q, R, S. Yeah. And then finally we have to add spirit, SPI, obviously. The character latent magical affinity. Actually, what I can do, since I already wrote something like this, and as I've always said, I do not hesitate to reuse things, because there's only so many ways that you can use the word how big and tough you are. Tactics, project tactics, updated. Yes, actually. Grog finished up Distara. That one, it happened. Like, it was done. I did my detox on it. Grug turned out to be a little bit... I think the problem with Grug is that it's the theme behind it. It turned out to be not as strong as I was hoping for, so it kind of started blending into itself. But overall, I think it turned out well. It was very much a... how do I word this? Proof of concept game. Not much of a... let's see. There we go. We want that. It's one of those things that's like... Not a game per se, but just saying that you can do something like that. SPI. Yeah, it's one of those things like you realize now why and how people don't make games like that, because it's a lot more complex than you think it is. High speed. With force of nature. Yeah, this is actually a commission project called Deep Sea, which is taking place in the Wadanohara and the Deep Blue Sea universe. Which is, I spoke about this a few times, but my big complexity. God, I wish it was a Barotrauma riff-off. God, I fucking wish. It's an anime game, very much so. Let's say that. And very anime. Yeah, give me one magical ability and skill at its manipulation, understanding of the magical arts and symbolism. I need a third one, but to give you the idea of this guy, boom, there's our main character right there. If I can actually grip onto the notepad, boom, there's our main character. Do you like it? Do you like it in anime? Don't worry, it's gonna get more anime. Have no fear. If it was a Barotrauma game, hell yeah, I could do that. But hey, I got paid $60 to do this, so I'm doing it. I read through some of the lore behind things, and I think the best way to word it is that it hides. Yeah, 60. Yeah, that's all I charge for. That's all I charge for games. Force of nature and often eccentric, larger than light. Yeah, no, it's I chose 60 just because it's a nice flat amount. Like, I originally was going to do like per word X amount, but then I remember I just wrapped up Iron Caskets, and I realized that game, under my current pricing scheme, was going to be about $153, and I'm like, no one's going to pay me $153 to write them a fucking game like this. 60. So, Nani. Let's see. Understanding the magical arts and symbolism. Manipulation. Focusing and creating magical artifacts. There we go. All right, there we go. Got our base attributes here. So, okay. Each attribute starts at 0, representing a. Okay, each attribute is ranked from -2 to -5 to 5. Ranked from -5 to 10, ranging from absolutely terrible to a paragon of the attribute. Paragonic? Not even a word. I have to look it up now. Paragonic. No. Huh. You learn something new every day. Ranging from absolutely terrible to a paragon of the attribute. At character creation, all attributes start at 0, but the player is free to distribute Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Spirit, you can't run away. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we do 5, so if we go into the idea that we have 5 attributes and we want, let's consider a normal human being have a 0 to 1. The highest number of people who have been stalking me. Among here, if I decide to post it literally everywhere, because I usually can get upwards of 4 or 5. I can sometimes, if I'm lucky, get about 4 or 5 people actually viewing the stream, but usually my average is about 2 to 3. Though, luckily enough, my YouTube videos have actually been not taking off really, but definitely I've gotten a little bit more traction on there since I did a deep dive on the social justice warrior ninjas. So yeah, if you're bored, and don't worry, I get that a lot. I also got a new microphone. That's a freestanding mic, not my shitty headset. Yeah, no, I actually did a full review on it, and I went through it, reviewed it, went over things live, and that game just gets odder the deeper you go. I didn't know how. Yeah, and mind you, the weird thing is, I found out more about that guy. More about the writer. Fun fact, everybody. Time to completely ignore the current video and talk about social justice, ninja warriors or whatever the fuck. He's a movie producer. Like that's kind of like it's like a side gig almost. Is that he makes movies. You can actually find some of his stuff on YouTube. And he goes under like a dozen different companies. It is the oddest thing. But he does Star Wars fan films. And I'm not saying all of them feature his wife in some capacity, but they feature his wife in some capacity. He has a few films, like it's Sword and Sandal Revisionist History. That's like one of his big things. It's like, huh? Like, what do you... Oh, like he has one which is about the Amazonian women of the Trojan War, because that's a thing. And I'm like, alright, why is your wife the main character again? Like, and then everyone's like, like it. The deeper I went on him after the stream, the odder it got, and I'm like, I want off the ride. So let's see if we say average human attribute. No, that's the weird thing. He has other actors, and he does act in it himself. It's just very odd. I think it's their fan company. It's a fan company. It's Dim Star Productions, if I remember correctly. And it's a rabbit hole, definitely, that I could go down if I really wanted to, mostly because I realized his school is a school based around role-playing games. I shit you not, that's how his school works. And he does like conventions. He was on the convention circuit for a while. Like, yeah. My theory at the end of that, I'm like, oh, he's using these RPGs as a method to teach things. I'm like, that's cool. Deeper you go, you realize that's his curriculum half the time is role-playing games. That's the curriculum. It's like, you fucking what, mate? Big naughty. It was a big naughty moment. Like, I don't know how. I honestly don't know. Like, you can find he did some panels at Comic-Con, I found, with his wife. He was at like WonderCon and stuff. Like, he used to do the con circuits like all the time in that area. Like, apparently he has some like a following or something, but it's like, what the fuck is this? Let's see. Average, non-important, let's say. Human NPC. Okay. So if you want that, we're going to put it, player is free to distribute 5 attribute points to begin among their attributes. A player is free to reduce an attribute up to -2 for 2 additional points. Reduce attributes by 2 for an attribute point. There you go. So you're expending more than you're gaining here. That's the I think for one additional attribute. Actually, no. Reduce by one, and let's say to a maximum of -3 across all attributes. For a maximum of -3 or 1 additional attribute point. -3, I should say. Put it in the footnote as well here. -3 total for among all attributes. So a -1 bod, -1 bod, -1 EDU, -1 personality equals -3. There we go. Yeah, no, I wish I could answer you there, Distara, of how he does it, but I don't know. I can honestly tell you I have no idea. I'd be curious to find out. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Give people a little bit more options here. Okay, attributes are pretty much done. Now we want to do skills. How do I want to do skills? Skills. Okay, now I can either go down the safe route, or I can go down the wacky route. Let's check the safe route so far. I actually don't even want a skill system. You know what I can do? I'm going... Okay, actually, let's... I'm going to put a skill system in, but I'm not going to make a traditional skill system. It's going to be a very simple skill system instead. So academics is obviously going to be EDU, acrobatics is going to be reflexes, athletics is going to be bod, craft is going to be, call that EDU, diplomacy, personality, endurance. Actually, we're going to cut endurance for now, investigation. EDU, probably knowledge. EDU. When should that be EDU? Actually, no. Actually, no. Yeah, we'll call that EDU. Larceny, reflexes, mechanics. EDU. Medicine. EDU. Mercantile, personality. Going to cut that. Outdoorsmanship is going to be bod. Perform is going to be personality. And stealth is going to be reflexes as well. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 those, and we have 1, 2, 3. Okay. Going to need a few more skills. You want to know where we can go for skills? If there's a will, there's a way. Okay. We want melee, which is obviously going to be bod. Oh, fisticuffs. Fit. Yeah, actually, I'm training in martial arts, bod. Pretty much how I'm going to do skills is going to be a little bit of a, not traditional method, but what I should do is actually I should write this in here so I don't forget. Skills. Where a character's attributes are their natural abilities. Skills are picked up and learned throughout the character's lifetime. They are diverse and plentiful. To represent this, a skill. When a skill is called for, the character doubles the attribute they are using. They're using for it. For example, a character is called upon to convince a guard to let them pass with their personality. With a personality check. They have the diplomacy skill. They are allowed to double their personality score and add it to their check. There we go. Nice and simple. And not a traditional, like, here's my usual skill soft systems, but Why are you aerial? Stop being aerial. Be roboto, like you're supposed to. Oh god, everything's aerial. Roboto. Roboto. Domo arigato, mista roboto. Domo, domo. The thing is, the commissioner of this project did deliberately say they want something simple. So I'm going to have to deliver something fairly simple for them. That's why I'm using a D20 system I normally don't use, that because D20 likes to fight me sometimes. But it's a very simplistic Vince Agar. And what I'm going to do now is body skills. Okay, so let's see. Let's get a few skills per area. And what I'm going to have to do is put in an entire section which is like, hey, by the way, make your own. Like, do not hesitate to just add in your own skills, add in your own ideas. Like, the system's supposed to be a bit open in that regard. Which brings me to education skills. I just realized I made that entire section go away. Education skills, because I am big brain. And craft. Education and knowledge. What the fuck is this music? I just wanted some background music. Oh, okay. Let's fix this up and let's change the music in the background apparently because this is awful. Okay. There we go. Jazz instrumental. Jazzy time. We're all cool here, right? Notepad ASMR. Also, thank you, Bigfoot Jornson, yes. Yeah, that's your name now. Bigfoot B Jornson, BJ Jornson. I don't know how to say your name, but thank you for following. I do not have snacks, so feel free to bring your own. Although I do have alcoholic beverages. Oh, and thank you, Distara, for following. Even though I already thought you were following, but hey, who cares? We're winging it here. We play things fast and loose here in the SPRUG workshop. Let's see. Even though I still have no idea why anyone would like actively want to come here and be like, oh yes, let's listen to this man who everyone says sounds depressed. I've been told that repeatedly at this point, being less like, Notepad, you sound really depressed about everything. I'm like, I don't mean to. This isn't the goal. Let's see, perform. Oh yeah, let's put intimidation. subtle words and small indicators that bad things will occur if the other party doesn't negotiate. I could probably add another body skill somewhere. I'm not going to say that's fairly accurate, but that's the unfortunate thing, that that's fairly accurate. Let me just snap my back into place again. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a meaty crunch. I already put perform in there, intimidation. Also, fun fact, everyone, I like putting intimidation into as a charisma skill, because I don't use intimidation as the idea of like me grug smash. I use intimidation as the idea of like, hey, bad things are going to happen if very bad things will happen if you don't do this thing, by the way. That's how I always use it. Which apparently is a very odd way of doing it, but I'm a weird GM, I guess. Reflex skills. Yeah, reflex is one of those weird words. Yeah, reflex. We'll call it reflex skills. And select all of you. Put you right there. Networking. Let's put you right there. Don't really need any of that, but okay. So now I just need some spirit skills. Spirit skills, and we'll do magical education, arcana, witch lore. What's some other good spirit skills that's supposed to, magical ability and skill, manipulate, understand the magical arts and symbology. There we go. Magical education. The character's ability to understand the flow of magic and ideas. A flow of magic. Don't know why I didn't hit L there. Arcana. The character's ability at manipulating magical energy in a focused and timely manner. The character's knowledge about witches, actually about other witches and their domains, symbology. The character's skill at understanding complex symbols that compose those larger scale spells. There we go. add-on, sorted paragraph. Oh god, everything's breaking. There we go. Add-on, sorted paragraph A to Z. I should do add-on, sort of paragraph A to Z. Since we have the X here, I'm going to put a... Actually, if a skill has an X next to it, it is considered a field, which the character has to adopt, has to specify what field or category they are skilled in. Now, what's that for? That's to make sure that you don't select the academic skill and you're immediately perfectly skilled at everything academia. Because as someone who has been in academia, fun fact, kids, people are really stupid. Like, yeah, if you're not inside your field, you dumb make dumb mistakes. I feel like I need more reflex skills, but I don't know what to add really. Nope, I mean hit that button. Sorted paragraph A to Z. Perfect. Squeeze the brain. Yes, of course, squeeze the brain. A squishy brain. Brawn. It's always bad anytime you're talking to a professor and they're just like, oh yes, of course, I'm this incredibly intelligent super person. You know, this like, what's 2 plus 3? And they're just like, I can tell you all about the theory of economics, but I don't know what basic math is. It's like, oh, you beautiful creature, you beautiful human being. Also, hello, Pepper, how are you? Let's see, skills. Okay. God, I'm not even down to making a witch yet. Okay, so we got our spin. Okay, making. Nope, didn't mean to hit that button. Now I'm everywhere. Don't mean to hit. So my goal today, because it started a little bit late, I want to get down to here. The making a familiar. So I have to go through making a witch and making a familiar. So I'm hoping that doesn't take up 2 bajillion hours. So making a witch. Actually, what I should do is side note on others. You may notice that these skills are fairly broad. If you, the narrator, wish to add additional skills, go for it. Keep them locked behind certain attributes, but if you want, do not hesitate to add new skills. The system is designed to be fairly open, so feel free to use it to your heart's content. People always make fun of me in my side notes. It's like, what? You don't need to put side notes on there. It's like, yeah, of course I do. That's just, I've been doing it for so long at this point, it's hard not to. So, okay, making a witch. So, making a witch. A witch is an individual who has been blessed with the power of magic flowing through their veins, and can use it to use it incredibly effectively in battle or to aid others. The only catch is that a witch is bound to their particular sphere. Would that be at? No, actually, down to their particular domain. A witch must base all of their magic off of their particular domain. But domains are large and varied. When creating a witch, first thing to do is pick a domain. This is unique to the witch, and only she and her descendants possess such a power over this domain. Because that's one of those things I never really talked about. Because Wadanohara's dad's possibly God, so. And mom may be a moon goddess, who knows? So I'm kind of winging it here, by the way. Because they don't actually have that much lore on witches. They're just like, it happens. Here's your anime girls, you're with witch hats on, deal with it. This power over this domain. Because domain, this is unique to witch, and only she and her descent. Actually, I'm probably over it. Which character trades this power for their survivability, for their health and for their health. Actually, I voiced it. Which character is also bound to the relation? Is also bound to their particular domains, problems, and issues. So a witch of the wood is going to be the central figure in the woods, while a witch of the flame is going to have to deal with issues regarding fire and flame-based accessories. So, also, fun fact, I'm going to be making an example character, as long with all of their familiars, and effectively, she's going to be the Witch of Gold. And what she's going to be is she's going to be the IRS witch, and deal with a financial crime. Just to give you the full, it's like, oh, you don't have to pick the sea, the land, the air. It's like, yeah, no, I'm the Witch of Gold, and I'm going to kick down your door if you don't pay your fucking taxes. What's more terrifying, the IRS or the IRS witch? I cast kill your credit score. but she's going to be coming a little bit later. But while Witch of Flame is going to deal with issues regarding flame and fire and flame-based accessories. And what I'm going to do, actually now what I'm going to do, which is health points, HP is which is health points is are equal to bod times 2. Actually, bod times 2 plus 5. So minimum, you can have literally 5 HP. Actually, ooh, you can have negatives, can't you? So let's see, -2, -3, so so it would be bod time. So we're going to do bod plus 10. Yeah, not very high body. Like maximum you can have 15 health. Or do I want to increase it more depending on how... think about this one. Which is health points are equal to... Okay. Which is health points. Let's see, which is mana points, MP. Equal. So if we do, let's say 20 plus bod, you get a little bit more leeway, and then for mana points, they're going to have 30 plus spirit. Actually, what I can do is speed times 2. Yeah, there we go. So they get a lot more mana, a lot more health, and I'm going to have to design the fucking mana system. Yeah, these are not... Why do you do this? Why? But why do you do this to me? I'm such an innocent boy. Punish Notepad, the man who has given up. Also, hi, Burb. Give me 1 second, I need to get up. I need to get the duality of man here. Yeah, that one's going in my cringe compilation. But okay, yeah, there's my squeaky chair again. Punish pad. Oh god. See, that's the one disadvantage of being called Notepad, is people can use just the word pad, and pad is, oh god. Actually, let's bump down that. Let's bump down health. So at least you're going to have a range of, if you have a -3 in the bod, you're going to have 7 to 15 health here. For spirit, you're going to have, if you have a -3 in spirit, which, fun fact, if you're a witch and have -3 spirit, stop playing a witch. You can have 14 to... If you have 5, that means you have 14 to 30 MP, 7 to 15. And what I'm going to do is a familiar's health points, HP, a familiar's mana points, MP. They're going to have 20, actually they're going to have 15 plus a bod times 2. And then their mana is going to be 10 plus SP, 10 plus their spirit. So they can have a match to 7. So they have a maximum of 7 to 15. Here they have 15. Actually, no, 15s works. So they're going to have 15. So if they have a -3 bod, they're going to have 9 to 5, 10, 25 HP. Okay, yeah, there we go. There's our ranges. Starting, anyway. Okay, the classless system. So, here's the thing. I'm not going to put in a class system in this game for 2 reasons. One, to keep things simple, as well as each character is going to be fairly... playing around with my microphone. Each character is going to be fairly unique in its own way. Like, the witch itself isn't really a class. It's almost like a race that does its own thing. Because as a witch, you have pretty much undisputed magical superpowers that nobody else really has access to. While playing a familiar, you are just fundamentally stronger. But you also have the advantage of having your... what I'm going to have to write down is your animal part. Which your animal part is going to be a... pretty much an ability that you, the character, have access to that allow you to play around and make things a little bit easier. For example, I am going to be... one of my, here, give me 1 second. What was it? Fix microphone again. Animals symbolizing wealth. Okay, let's say, a tiger. Our IRS witch is going to have a tiger familiar. That tiger familiar is going to have effectively the ability to... I'm actually leaning back a bit, so if I sound a little bit quiet, I apologize. They're going to have tiger claws as just a base ability. They're going to have a natural attack because they are literally a tiger. But how I want to put that in, it's going to be a very complex affair, fun fact. Because, in case you haven't realized, this entire project is kind of a pain in the ass. But there's a reason I take on these projects. Okay, so there we go. And so I got that. Side notes here. Side note. What's it makes a domain? Short answer. Anything. Long answer. Anything that you can think of. Some Wadanohara herself is the Sea Witch. Sea Witch with access to plentiful amounts of spells relating to the sea. Well, give me 1 second. What's Okagam? Okagam Gore Witch. Ah. Profit and sport. Nani. Also, yes, this is Bloody Mary. She is the Blood Witch. More accurately, she is the Witch of Gore. Yeah, she doesn't really have much. If I were to be a suspicious man, and I often am because I'm a suspicious human being, I were to make a wild guess, and that Deep Sea Prisoner here is trying to make Toho 2 with all the witches. And there's nothing wrong with having Toho 2, it's just that the fact that Zune is insane. So also more images of the Eye Witch and the Gore Witch. So you can literally have just about anything relating to your particular domain. Well, Bloody Mary is the Gore Witch, which most likely allows her to manipulate blood and inflict horrifying injuries. So when designing a witch character, keep in mind the power of the domain and the witch's absolute control over it. They are the master of their domain and everything inside of it. Everything inside of it is their plaything. Insert table 1 by 1. Post what mixed domain. This mouse, I don't know about this mouse yet. It's freaky deaky. It's different, therefore bad. Looks like everyone's finally leaving. Good. So I don't feel so desire to actually be productive as we'll slap a picture of a few lollies right here. Yeah, we can slap 2-3 lollies right there and no one will care. Okay, so making a familiar. But don't worry, they're not lollies, they're legal lollies. I can say that. Making a familiar. A character who is taking the role of the witch's familiar, of one of the witch's familiars, is taking the role as their protector, and their protector, guardian, and an emotional support crutch. A familiar can be any creature or person willing to dedicate their life to the witch, allowing them to following them on their adventures, providing assistance, and then being a constant companion. Being a constant companion to the witch on her daring exploits. Actually, daring and dangerous exploits. Being a familiar does come with a few benefits, namely being friends with an incredibly powerful individual who can bend reality around to their whims. Familiars are drawn from the local populace of the witch's homeland, but can come from just about anywhere. Just about anywhere, which is homeland, but from just about anywhere where people congregate. Once the familiar contract has been sealed, the partners are bound until death. Until death. Very graphic. Actually, yeah, I'm bound until death. Almost all familiars are most individuals of the world are most individuals of the world are animal people. Why? Because fuck you. How do I word this properly? Kimamori. Actually, I'll screw it. Most of the individuals of the world are animal people, taking the forms of either talking animals or humanoid variations of animals. To represent the character's animalistic background. The familiar begins play with a unique benefit tied to their animal. I knew this was going to be the harder one. The familiar benefit tied to their... God, how do I even want to do this? A character... Because the question boils down to, how do you make him? Where are you? Give me a good image of Fukami. How do you make this boy? This may not seem like a big deal, but how do you make him? Because inevitably, if you are playing a Wadanohara game, you're going to want to make Fukami. You're going to want to make your Fukami game character. Why? Because you can. Like, how do you make him? How do you make, how do you make her? That's violating Twitch TOS. Like, how do you make her? How do you make Lobco? How do you make, let's see. What other one? Like, how do you make any of these characters, really? That's the... that's the problem child as of right now. Like, how do you make any of the familiar characters in a satisfying method? And the answer is, there's no really satisfying method to do it. So, fun fact. Because there's no clear... The thing is, there's no clear answer on what the hell a familiar actually is. Simply that familiars exist. And they just do their own thing. Let's see. Yeah, then you can be like, well, where does all grim dark? Grimdark Armageddon. No, we don't want grim-dark shit. That's not the point. Represent familiar begins. Play. Actually, the familiar begins play with a unique skill. Skill tied to their animal background. This skill is not tied to any particular attribute and can be used at any point it becomes relevant. A familiar can also, I'm going to put that as a side note, making a familiar. Not heading 1, heading 2. Why do I click on? Why do I make these mistakes? Familiar's health. I'm going to delete the ranges here. I don't think that's entirely necessary. And that means side note. Actually, nope. Side note. Animal, people. There are moments throughout the game where familiars are able to revert to their animal forms. Why this occurs, one may ask. I don't know. Deep sea prisoner does not want to address it. As it just works. To put, if the narrator wishes to add that phenomena to the game, consult the following rules. Consult the following. Familiar may spend A familiar may switch to their animal form, keeping all their attributes. Keeping all of their attributes, but losing access to any of their equipment. In addition, their unique skill is applied to two attributes permanently. But other attributes are temporary. Yeah, two attributes permanently. However, all actions that cannot be performed by the animal cannot be performed by the character. They are the animal until they turn back. Okay, insert table 1 by 1. Okie dokie then. Put some anime boys and anime girls there to flush that place out. But okay, so we've gotten this section done, and tomorrow we're going to work on, not tomorrow, probably Monday, we're going to work on health and well-being, as well as gore effects and trauma. And from there, we're going to probably try to get the create a spell system done. My goal is this is going to be Monday, probably Wednesday, if I can get all 3 of these done, and then for next Friday, I'm going to see if I can't get all this done. The goal is to get everything done probably by the end of the month. That's my goal. Yeah, so probably next Friday at the absolute latest. If we keep going on the progress we have been making, we may be able to get it done by next week. However, if things get a little bit slower, I'm aiming probably for the end of the month. That is the goal. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. And we got a lot done, actually. It may not seem like a lot, like, oh wow, you added a few pages, but you have to build things up in these kind of games, and just slapping a bunch of things down and saying, okay, it works. That works for a bit, but not permanently. So everything should work. Next time this should be a little bit prettier, as I have all of the various pictures and stuff loaded in. Actually, let's check this to make sure. There we go. Let's go making it familiar. Perfect. All right, cool. Thank you. All as usual, have a wonderful rest of your night. Godspeed, good luck, and I will see you on Monday. Goodbye.